I actually had like a whole different sequence planned for today that I was, like practicing throughout the week. And just last night I sat like in meditation, just literally trying to find some answers, of like how can I support the world and humanity with all this craziness that's going on right now? And the only answer that would come to me, it was love. So, the truth is, if we want to see any changes, in the world and the people around us and, culture, we actually need to change ourselves first. So we need to put in some work to actually start to cultivate the ability to love without fear, the ability to be compassionate, and so then we can avoid, like more harm. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna try to focus today in our practice. And before we start, I just want to read a quote from a book that I had the chance to read throughout my last yoga teacher training. And it's called A Skill in Action, and it's from Michelle Cassandra Johnson. She is a Black woman, and this book just like shifted so much inside my heart. She's also a yoga teacher, and she works to dismantle like racism around the US. So I'm just going to read a part of her book where she talks about love. It is difficult to love in the face of hate. It is difficult to love when one is being made invisible by another. It is difficult to love when one's truth is being questioned and doubted. Love is about seeing your own humanity and the humanity of others. It is about collective care. To lead a practice of social justice through yoga, one must make a commitment to revisit and recommit to love again and again. If we practice and center love, we have a chance at changing things. We can create a just world. But if we distract from love, then we're just that, distracted. While white supremacy, oppression, and hate thrive. May we love our way into being the just world that we can be. So with that in our hearts, we're gonna find a comfortable seat. And we're gonna actually start like, first like, do like this with your hands to start create some heat in your hands together. You can go like around, side to side, just heat it up your hands. And as you close your eyes, bring your hands into your heart. And take a deep breath in. As you exhale, feel your energy grounding into the power of love. Now just bring your hands into your heart center. Take one more deep breath in. And we're just going to chant Om one time to connect with the highest vibration of love, with the highest vibration of all that is. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And now inhale for Om. Slowly open your eyes. And let's get started. So get all your props. For today, we'll need like a block, a blanket, and a strap, or you can have like a thick book and a belt or a scarf and like a rolled towel. And if you guys have the playlist, we can maybe like count down and start playing together if you want to practice with some music. Otherwise, just meet me on the mat in tabletop position. Okay. Let me know if for some reason you can't hear me well. So if your knees are feeling a little sensitive this morning, you can also already place a blanket to give you a little more cushion on the knee. And as you find your tabletop position, we're going to start focusing on the foundation. And the way we do that is making sure that the four corners of our hands are pressing towards the ground. And we're literally pressing the mat away, avoiding put any weight in our wrists. Knees over the hips. And just take a deep breath in and pump your heart forward. Point your tailbone forward and lower the belly down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you curl your spine. Gather the energy within yourself. And you inhale, come all one more time, all the way up. Expand your heart. Exhale, curl it in. And just keep moving like that a couple more times as we start to warm up our spine, our hips. You can find rolls on the ribs. You can move back and forth in a wavy movement. Just find whatever movement your body's asking to do this morning. You start rolling to one side, to warm up the wrist, and then the other. Now let's do one more cat and cow. So as you inhale, you pump your chest forward, tailbone up to the sky. Exhale, you curl it all in. And then place your feet to the back of your mat and lower your belly all the way down to the floor. If you have your blanket now, you can remove it. We're going to start some shoulder stretch right now. So as you have your belly on the mat, your legs are spread back behind you. Open your arms to the sides and bring your right hand closer to your heart in the fingertips. As you slowly start opening your whole body all the way to the right side. Engage your scapulas together. Take deep breaths on the hips, on the shoulders. One more breath in here. And with slow and a lot of control, come all the way back to center. Extend your right arm and bring your left hand closer to your heart and the fingertips and start rolling open to the left side. Your left leg can go behind you, or if it doesn't go all the way, it's totally fine. Just keep it open like this. Deep breaths on the shoulders, deep breaths on the hips. Just one more breath here. And with control, come all the way into center. Bring the palms of your hands spread wide towards your heart. Forehead on the mat. Engage your scapulas together. Bring your shoulder bones all the way up and back. As you take a deep breath in, come a little bit up for baby cobra. Doesn't need to go all the way up, we're just starting. Breathe on the front body, breathe on the low belly, and release. We're gonna do 2 more times just like that. So inhale, come up for baby cobra. And exhale, come all the way down. Just one more time, come up. And exhale, forehead to the mat. Now press your hands into the mat, start bending your knees, and come all, sit on your heels for Balasana, child's pose. Take some grounding breaths in here. Notice if you're feeling some tightness in your body today, and bring some knowledge to that place. Notice where it is and send some breaths in there. With your next inhale, notice if there are parts in your body that are feeling loving and spacious and just feeling good. And also send some breaths into that place. Connect with the power of your heart through the breath. With your next inhale, come all the way into tabletop position one more time. As you spread your hands wide, you tuck your toes, your back toes, and slowly start bringing your knees out of the ground and sending your hips all the way up to the sky to find downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can micro bend your knees in here. The intention with this pose is not to stretch the hamstrings, but the spine. So find a long line in between your tailbone and your neck. You can pedal your feet one at a time. Energetically bring your heart towards your thighs. And find some deep breaths on the back of the body. Start to activate the power of the heart. With our next inhale, we're going to bring our right foot up to the sky. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. And as you exhale, bring your right knee towards your chest and step your right foot forward. Bring the left one to meet the right and find a halfway lift with a long spine. As you exhale, fold all the way down, bow your head towards the earth, Uttanasana. As you inhale, micro bend the knees, root your feet down and come all the way up with a long spine with your arms above your head. Ardha Uttanasana. From here, you can cactus your arms as you take a big inhale, micro bend the knees. And when you exhale, give yourself a big heart curl in the spine. Inhale, open up one more time. And exhale, give yourself another hug. One more big breath in. Exhale, close it up. Open in cactus and bring your hands up one more time. Grab a hold on your left wrist and ground your pelvis and your hips down as you stretch to your right side. Find some deep breaths on the side body. You can play with the position of the arm. You can even do like a little bit forward or bring it a little more backwards. Keeping the hips very well grounded. As you inhale, come back to center. Grab your opposite wrist and go to the other side. One more time. Back to center and lean to the right. I don't know for you, but this one feels really good in my body right now. Back to center and lean to the left. Root down through the feet and come all the way back to center. Now we're going to move into fearless heart namaskar to start to get the heart pumping. So let's get started. So take a deep breath in, bring your hands all the way up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, micro bend your knees and with a long spine come all the way down, bound towards the earth, Uttanasana. Inhale as you find halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, long spine. And exhale, place your hands toward the mat and step your left foot back behind you. Lower your left knee. Found a good foundation on your feet and your knees, and come all the way up with your hands for Anjaneyasana. In here, we want to find like a scissor engagement on the legs. So make sure your hips are rooted down. You're squeezing the legs toward each other. And as you find this good foundation, you find some freedom on your upper body. Inhale, feel the lungs 360 degrees. Exhale, place your hands back on the mat and step back for downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Make sure your hands foundation are working well, four corners of the hand pressing towards the mat. And with your inhale, bring your left leg all the way up for Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring your left knee towards your chest and step forward. Lower your right knee. Gather energy and come all the way up with your hands for Anjaneyasana. Deep breath in here. Exhale, we touch our hands forward. Move your right foot forward and find a forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up with a long spine. Arms above the head. And hands to heart center with an exhale. Let's do it on the other side. So big inhale, arms up above the head. Exhale, micro bend the knees, hinge the hips back, and come down with a long spine for Uttanasana. Inhale as you find a halfway lift. And now step your right foot back behind you. Lower your knee. Gather the energy from the earth and come all the way up for Anjaneyasana. Squeeze the legs together. Heavy the hips. Breathe long, big, and spacious through the lungs and the heart. Exhale, place your hand back, step back for downward facing dog. As you inhale, bring your right leg all the way up towards the sky. Internally rotate your hip. Bring your right knee into your chest. And as you exhale, place the foot down and lower the back knee. Gather energy and come all the way up for Anjaneyasana. Exhale, you place your hands on the ground, root down to the right feet, and step forward with your left foot to meet the right, finding a forward fold. Micro bend the knees, hinge the hips back, and come all the way up for Urdhva Hastasana. Hands to heart center. How are you doing? Good. Okay, so one more deep breath in. Bring your arms one more time above the head. And exhale as you forward fold all the way down. Place your hands on the mat and step 1 foot at a time to the back of the mat and find downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. Bring your right leg up towards the sky. Internally rotate that thigh. And actually now just start opening your hips. Flare your top feet, bringing towards your glute, your left glute. Deep breath in here. And slowly start bringing your legs all the way back to center. Internally rotate the thigh and step it all the way forward. Ground down your back heel. Make sure your foundation is nice and stable in a diagonal on the mat. And come all the way up for Virabhadrasana number 2, Warrior 2. And here we want to make sure that our front foot's pointing forward. Our back foot is pointing to the side of your mat. You can even bring it a little bit more in to find this internal rotation of the back leg. Root down through the hip. And then just be spacious towards your heart. Look in front of you. Now we're gonna, if you have a strap, if you want to use a strap, now we're gonna interlace the hands behind the back. So if that's too much for you right now on the shoulder, you can use a strap or a scarf or a shirt, anything you have to find disengagement on the back. So bring your shoulders up and back. Press the scapulas together. Extend your arms as you fold all the way in on the side of your right leg for humble warrior. May we fight the wars that we have to fight in the most humble way, with love. One more deep breath in here. Exhale. With your next exhale, with your next inhale, please release your arms. And with the help of your hands, come all the way up for warrior two. One more time. We're gonna slowly start to extend our front leg and bend our back knee. Release your arms and come all the way to the back of your mat for crouching tiger. Hinge from the hips, back behind you, get strong through the inner thighs. Your front foot is flexed and pointing up. Your back foot's pointing a little bit to the back of the mat. Get long through the spine and the neck. And then with your inhale, crawl your fingertips forward. Place your hands on the mat and step back for downward facing dog. Find some stability in here. Connect with the breath. Deep breaths through the back of the tongue, of the throat. With your next inhale, bring your left leg all the way up. And then bend your knees and open your hip to your right side. Flare the left toe. Energetically bring it towards your right glute. And then slowly start bringing your hip towards back to center. Bring your left knee towards your chest. And step forward. Ground your back foot. And with the good foundation, come all the way up for warrior two on the other side. Virabhadrasana number 2. From here, same thing. Grab your strap or interlace the things behind your back. Press your scapulas together. Get spacious through the heart. Root down through the hips. And with your exhale, fold inside of your left leg. Humble warrior. Slowly and with control, release your arms and place your hands on the mat. Engage your legs and come all the way up for warrior two one more time. Start bending your right knee, your front knee, your left knee, and bending your back knee as you flex your left toe and come all the way down with your hands for crouching tiger on the other side. Hinge from the hips. Make sure you're engaging your legs towards each other. Legs are strong. Heart is pumping forward. Deep breaths. Slowly crawl your hands to the top of the mat and step back for downward facing dog. Lower your knees. Bring your hips all the way back to your heels and find Balasana, child's pose. Take a little bit of time to notice if you can already perceive any changes happening in your mind, in your body, in your movement. Take a second in here to think about someone or something that maybe you felt hurt by lately. How can you send a little bit of love towards that situation or that person? With your next inhale, slowly come all the way back into tabletop position. Tuck the toes and bring your hips all the way up and back for downward facing dog. With your next inhale, bring your right leg all the way up towards the sky. One more time, open the hips, bend the knee. Find your hips back to center and bring your right knee into the chest. As you exhale, you step forward and lower your back knee. Inhale, gather your hands all the way up for Anjaneyasana. Heavy through the hips, scissor the legs. Exhale, place the hands back on the floor. And we're gonna actually use our right hand to help us to find a good foundation on the left shoulder in here. So as we're right here, grab your right hand and make sure that your shoulder is back behind you. So help it a little bit. You can even like play with the position of your hands to find that easily. And then just open your arm, your right arm up to the sky. Twisted lunge. With your next inhale, bring your hands back to the center and bring your hip all the way back for half split, half Hanuman. The front leg doesn't need to be all the way stretched if your hamstrings are tight, but make sure you're energetically pushing your left hip to meet the right. It can be a great place for a block in here. Now we're going to find a pulse in between Anjaneyasana and half Hanuman. So as you inhale, you come all the way forward. Bring your hands up. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Send the hips back. Half Hanuman. One more time, just like that. Palm forward. Arms up. Exhale, pulse your hips back. Half Hanuman. One more time forward. And as you place your hands back towards the earth, step back and find downward facing dog. Now your left leg come all the way up behind you. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left, open your hips, bend the knee, flare the left toes. Straight the knee and bring your knee all the way towards your chest. Step it forward. Lower the right knee. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, send the hips back for half Hanuman. Inhale, palm forward, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, place the hands and send the hips back. Just one more time, come forward, arms up. Breathe in full and exhale. Hips back behind you. Come forward, place your hands on the mat. Step back and find Balasana, child's pose, hips to heel. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yuj, which means to unite. How can we find more union and communion within the people around us, with the people that are easy for us to love? But also, how can we find that same communion with people that are a little more challenging, with situations that are a little more challenging? It's all the same. That's what love is. Enjoy to take one more round of breath in here as we move into our last wave of the practice. Inhale, come forward, find your way into tabletop position. Tuck the toes and send your hips up and back for downward facing dog one more time. Exhale. Engage the low belly. As you inhale, bring your right foot up, all the way up towards the sky. Internally rotate your thigh. And then bend the knee, open the hips. Find some stretch on the hip. As you exhale, find your way back to center. Extend the top leg and bring the knee towards your chest. Step forward, lower the knee. Inhale, hands up, Anjalayasana. Exhale, hands down. And we're going to do the same thing here. Use the help of our right hand to adjust our shoulder. Bring your shoulders back behind you. And then trace your hands and open your arms all the way up. Your right arm up. Deep breath in here. Now we're going to slowly start to bend our back knee. And even if you cannot hold the calves of your foot, just energetically imagine that you're like pushing your foot towards your butt. And extend the heart forward. Bring the throat a little bit back, the head a little bit back. Open the heart. Slowly and controlled, release your back leg. Cartwheel your right hand up and all the way to the front of the mat. And send your hips back behind you for half Hanuman. Engage your legs, hug the muscles into your bones. Deep breath here. Inhale, palm forward, Anjaneyasana, just one more time. Hands up above the head. Exhale, place the hands down. And find your way into downward facing dog. Now let's do it the left side. So inhale, bring your left leg up. Exhale, engage the leg, bend the knee, open the hips. And then find your way back to center. And bring your left knee into your chest. Just step forward. Lower the knee. Inhale, bring your hands all the way up above the head. Exhale, place the hands down. Use your left hand to help to find a nice position for your right shoulder. And trace your left hand all the way up to the sky. Scissor the legs together. Bring your left knee towards the midline. And as you engage your hamstring, your back hamstring, start bringing your foot towards your hand. Engage the glute. Find a nice extension on your right psoas. And then slowly and carefully release the back leg and cartwheel your left hand all the way to the top of the mat. Exhale, send your hips back. Find half Hanuman. And then pump yourself forward, arms up above the head, Anjaneyasana. And then hands down, step back for Balasana. Child's pose. With the practices of yoga, we want to start like training our brains to see the good in every situation. So there are definitely like a lot of poses in yoga that do not fit very well in my body and that I don't feel comfortable while doing it. And sorry, I imagine that's the same for some of you. But once you're in there, you know, in the eye of the hurricane, how can you train your brain to see, okay, that's bad, but what is good? Maybe you're not feeling good in your body, but the quality of your thoughts are good. Maybe you're practicing in a place where you feel loved and safe and you have all your needs met. So how can you train your brain to see the good and the love in every situation? Inhale through the nose and find your way into tabletop. And then we're gonna find our way into our backs. So you can sit on your heels, just bring your legs forward and lay down on the back. Please spread your legs wide, your arms wide. Take up some space. Feel the back of the heart supported and connected to the earth. If we're here alive and we still can cultivate love within our hearts, we can change the world. We have this power. But it needs to start inside. So bring your knees to chest and give yourself a big hug. You can roll side to side. Massaging the low back. And then keep a hold on your right knee and release your left leg long. Hold, interlace your fingers on the back of your right thigh, and then extend your right foot forward up towards the sky at the best of your capacity. And then find some tension in between the back of your leg and your hands. Deep breaths in here, get really heavy through both hips. Try to imagine that you're bringing your femur bones back into the socket. That will help you to find some release on the low back after all the back bends we do. Then slowly start bending your top leg. And then change legs. Bend your left knee and extend your right leg long. Interlace the hands behind the back, the left thigh, and extend your feet long up towards the sky. The top leg is strong, engaged, and same for the bottom leg. Feet is flexed to help with that engagement. Breathe on the back of the heart. With your next exhale, release the top leg and hug both knees into the chest one more time. Catch a hold on the outside of your feet and try to bring your knee towards your armpit. And you can start rolling side to side one more time. Happy baby pose. Now, give yourself one more big squeeze, a big hug. Bend the knees, hug yourself in. You can even bring your head to meet your knees. Curl into a tiny, tiny little ball, squeeze it all in. And as you exhale, release your arms and your legs long for Shavasana, final relaxation. In here, make sure you're comfortable, that you're warm. If you have like a blanket or a shirt, anything that you can cover your eyes with, it can be a good idea. And just rest within the love inside of you. It is difficult to love in the face of hate. It is difficult to love when one is being made invisible by another. It is difficult to love when one's truth is being questioned and doubted. Love is about seeing your own humanity and the humanity of others. It's about collective care. To lead a practice of social justice through yoga, one must make a commitment to revisit and recommit to love again and again. If we practice and center love, we have a chance at changing things. We can create a just world. But if we distract from love, then we're just that, distracted. While white supremacy, oppression, and hate thrive. May we love our way into being the just world that we can be. Feel free to stay in Shavasana if you need more time for integration of the practice. Otherwise, slowly start to bring your awareness back to the body. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, deepen your breath. Slowly bend the knees. Take one more breath here and then slowly roll to your side in a fetal position. Slowly, with the help of your hands, come up to a seat. So the same way as we started, we'll close the practice. So bring your hands together and we'll find some friction in between them. Warm them up. Go all around in circles, side to side. Close your eyes and with a deep breath in, bring it to your heart. Just feel your heart pumping. Feel your chest expanding. Feel the love within you. And bring your hands back together, palms together into your heart center. And we're going to start opening the palms. Pinkies are still together. Pushpanjali Mudra, the offering of flowers. So then we can offer all this love and compassion that we cultivated today in practice towards the collective, towards the victims in Rio de Janeiro, towards Ukraine and Russia, and towards anywhere and any place and anybody in the world that needs that love and compassion right now. And we're going to chant Om Shanti 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 Hi. So then we can also send the sense of peace into everyone's heart. Hari Om Tat Sat, and so it is. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. As we inhale for Om. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Bring your palms together into your heart. Give yourself a gentle bow. Thank you so much for your presence. Also, thank yourself for taking the time for being here. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys are feeling good and that your weekend have had a great start. So I hope you can go out in the world and just share all this love with everybody that crosses your path today.
Thank you.
Thank you, No. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thanks for being here. I appreciate every one of you. Bye.
Valeu, amiga.
Valeu, amiga.
Vamos lá.
Beijinhos, obrigada.
Tchau.
Ciao.
Bye, Fer. Thanks.
Bye, Susie. Thanks for coming. Mwah. See ya.